my alarm clock that was nearly a decade old just finally gave up the ghost.
Oh,
It had
lovely.
been, yeah. So I was
Hey,
late
it's
for
a
a show
limits.
today.
Oh, you are.
Yeah. It's not been a good start to the week.
Well, happy Labor Day, everybody. Anyway,
Yeah.
That's right.
Whoop.
But I did get some good stuff going today. Got some good stuff going on.
yeah, yeah. Well, hold off on showing that, Tank. We want to
Okay.
get rolling. We want to get an audience in here and get rolling.
All right. Let's
Yeah, I
get
got
this
some cool
this
stuff
party
in
started.
actually on yesterday, which was crazy. The postman actually delivered a package yesterday at a comic day.
Okay, you want to show that?
Ooh.
Yeah, after a while.
Oh, after a
We,
while. Okay, I see.
you just
Playing hard
said,
to get.
don't
I
you
got
want to
it.
wait until we get an audience in here?
Oh yeah, and I think
Yes,
Mike
sir.
Barron's going to come back in, and he was in earlier before we started the stream, and he'll be joining
What's
us.
that?
And I hope Mike Barron and maybe some others. I sent out a bunch of links to some people. You only get one in 2023 Labor Day.
It's true.
Let, let's go, Brandon.
Really?
You think that'll get this taken down, Tank, just by saying "Let's go, Brandon" in the title?
Probably not, but definitely marked for adult content.
Yeah,
They'll definitely nuke your reach. But
yeah,
I agree. Let's go, Brandon.
yeah. Man, I was uh, grilling. The cows were, I hadn't put the meat on when Mike came in. That was like at 3 o'clock, and Tank was here already, and he came in early, and we were kind of chatting, and uh, then I went out and proceeded to barbecue, right, to grill, I guess, and
uh,
just some hamburgers. I did a dozen hamburgers. Uh, there they are,
Nice.
oh, very nice, right? Look at you,
smoky,
brother.
yeah, and I had to do it in the rain.
Oh, no.
Send some of
So if
that
I
my
look
way.
wet,
Wait, no.
that's from the shower. It's not from the rain, but yeah, I just
Yeah.
got out of the shower to get that grill smell off and whatnot.
And then you got a free shower on top of it, eh?
Yeah. And I mean, I wasn't much of a shower, uh, but I had put my grill, I'd moved it out and it was right under the house. So the runoff was hitting the front end of the grill. And so I backed up the grill a little bit, so it wouldn't get so much runoff. And
Mm.
then it stopped for a bit. And, uh, I put on the second batch of burgers after taking up the first batch in the rain. And, I'm still getting that runoff. I mean, it's still running off there. I may have to retire that grill pretty soon. I noticed it had a hole in the bottom of it. I've had it outside up against the wall all year long, and this is the first time I've grilled on it. But I was ready to
Oh,
go. I
wow.
just kept it out all summer.
Yeah, dude, my poor grill gets abused at least 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah. Timothy Olsen in the house. Hey, Timothy.
What's up, Timothy?
Hail, Timothy.
That's
I
right.
drew. It's lemon says I drool with alcohol, meat, and women. Yeah, it's steamy out there. It's
It's a
it's
lemon.
it's a little
Hail, hail.
warm. It's not really. I don't know what the temperature is. It's probably about 90 here too, Shadowhawk, but it's a nice, breeze and overcast. And then that rain started, and I'm like, oh great, this has been a while since and I'm right in the runoff. It wouldn't have been. I would have been better to have
Yeah,
the grill out just where it got rained on than to have it right there because the runoff of the house is just pouring down.
yeah.
A solid sheet of
Perfect
water.
placement, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she said, but we won't talk about that right now.
Oh, but
I got to get them in when I can.
that's right.
If that was Hannibal Lecter saying that, it would have a whole new meaning. Probably so. Yeah.
True.
Probably the reason I never get drunk and I dilute my own alcohol. Yeah.
Sneaking
go.
into
What
the
do you dilute it
liquor cabinet.
for? Alcohol? I don't recommend that. You
I,
get
I remember
snarky.
my, my one of my brothers.
Oh man.
He used to get into my dad's liquor cabinet and water down his whiskey, and my dad was like, he's like, you know, it pisses me off that he's underage drinking. What really gets me is that he's watering down my $300 whiskey.
to make it look fuller, right? That he
Yeah,
didn't take any out. Yeah.
it would piss him off because like he wouldn't just get into like my dad's not a drinker, so
Yeah.
the alcohol, the liquor that he has is like real expensive. Like, dude,
Yeah, $300. Yeah.
yeah,
I've got
dude,
a
he
bottle
buys
in
like
there that's
$400 tequila, $300 whiskey. You know, like
yeah.
he's a very particular man. He's worked a very long career to make something. You know, and
Dude,
he likes to occasionally enjoy it because he's such a tightwad everywhere else.
Yeah. Does
yeah,
he?
my older brother fucking wiped my dad's bar out, dude, and we didn't have any idea until after my dad died. And
Oh no!
my mom wanted to fucking sell off some of his collection because it was a huge fucking built-in bar down in our basement. It was like 3 bottles deep, 5 shelves high, big
You
giant
still
mirror
got some of
behind
the
it.
old bottles, don't you,
Oh,
Shadowhawk?
yeah, Rex has seen some of the old collectibles and stuff that I got from off the bar. But we went through the fucking bar. It was after my brother had moved out, and my mom was asking me, how much, money is this stuff worth? And I was like, we got to see what's full, and we found like 250 bottles of fucking booze that had been watered and colored to look like.
Oh,
Oh,
dude!
no alcohol.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. My
So he
brother
drank it.
wiped
You
out
think
my
he
dad.
filled that up
Yeah,
so your mother
yeah. He
wouldn't?
he moved back home for like a year. My mom, I don't know what happened. I was gone at that point. I
Yeah.
hadn't lived at home in years. I just come visit every now and again. And apparently he had moved back in and wanted to have his bedroom down in the basement. My mom let him have his bedroom down in the basement. Apparently he was just down there fucking tapping that bar every fucking night, bro.
Well, with that much, yeah. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but if you're talking, well, over a year's time, I guess that's still a lot.
That's still a lot, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I
still
mean,
a
we're
lot.
talking, if it was beer,
250
okay,
bottles,
but
dude.
yeah,
I
hard
mean,
liquor.
that's
So what did your
that's a good bottle a night anyway, right?
what was
So,
your oh shoot? What was your father? His liver must have been huge.
no, my dad didn't drink that much. He had a really nice bar. He liked to have parties a couple times a year, have his friends over, and he could make you any drink in the world, man. He had like all the bartender's guides and all the ingredients, the stirrers, we had the
Yeah.
fucking CO2 thing where you could coat the glass in ice if you wanted to. Just
Uh-huh. So he could mix
all that
drinks
shit.
pretty good, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Did
my
he
dad
pass
liked
that
doing
on
that
to
kind of
you?
stuff. Yeah, I love bartending, dude. I've done it for
Yeah.
money.
Oh, have you? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I know Anthony's a bartender, so
Yeah,
I think
I
you.
mean, it takes a little skill to be a good bartender, man.
Oh yeah, it really does, and some of them are highly skilled. I see on
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
Twitter
Anthony
where
blows
they're filling up
my
multiple
level way
glasses
out of the
real
water, dude.
quick.
I was never like pro, but I had bartended and I had a good time doing it. Customers were happy. So.
Timothy Olsen says, "Did you hear about the guy who had an old booze stash from Prohibition in his walls and floorboards?"
That's wild.
Yeah.
I guess
I've
that could be.
I've heard a few stories like that, man, where people had the old moonshine stashed away for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I took over Mike some blush, some pink champagne, since he had a new housewarming, house coming, whatever they call it, right?
Oh
House
yeah,
opening. And I had bought this little bucket for like a celebration online. I'd fill it with ice and wine cooler or something, and we'd have a celebration at some point. And I said, "Ooh, I have that sitting right here. I just bought it." that bottle would look really nice in that. So I just took that and gave that to him. It was just something I got at the dollar store, but
Oh, there you go.
I was glad I had it. So I was like, well, the God, that's why I bought that. I thought I knew what I was buying it for, but it turns out it was just too convenient not to use, and bless them with. So had some ribs, mac and cheese, some apple crumb cake, some Doritos. What else I have? Some potatoes and butter.
Oh, cool.
Some nice iced tea. There was a lot more, but I didn't imbibe that much. They had some beer. I didn't drink beer, but
you're making me hungry, man.
Down on Mexican food last night.
Come think of it, it might have been Bud Light. It's like Mike won't he ever learn? He's probably the only person. I mean, when we went to Texas, a Roadhouse, he first ordered a Bud Light, and I'm like, "Are you sure you really want to do that?" He wound up ordering something else.
Dude, I might have to leave. I can't be seen with you.
Right. Hello, I must be going. Maybe you can hitch a ride home. I'm not sure which of us drove that day, but I think he did.
Jeez, look at the time,
I might
Mike.
have been walking. Actually, I could walk to the Texas Roadhouse. It'd take me probably about an hour or less walk, to get home. But I could actually walk home from there. So
dude, they just finished building one by me. It apparently had their grand opening this weekend, I think. So.
Well, the very first one I ever saw, I didn't even know they existed till I went to spray. I'm not sure what year it was. Maybe 2017, 18.
That great, but they're not bad.
Yeah, I went down Florida and they had one there, and oh man, after just eating the hotel food, and I didn't take any. I took $1.80 something down there, and they were the whole time they were telling me, "Yeah, we'll get you some money, out of your paycheck. You can get an advance on that, to have some money down here." And I just was out of money.
You went with $1.85, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah, but I took food. I took like peanut butter, crackers, just different things, and actually I and my partner that sort of navigated
ready for the zombie apocalypse, man.
Yeah, well, if I hadn't taken that, I'd been a very hungry boy. But I tell you what, we were spraying from dusk to dawn, and so when we were working hard, there for a week.
Yeah,
we were working quite a few hours. Hey, Mike.
Hi.
Hey, Mike.
How's your day going,
Mike?
My day has been sloppy.
Yeah. Well, since we last talked, I grilled in the rain. It decided to rain, and I was right under the eave. But I got my burgers done.
Good for you.
Yeah, they smell great. I'll share some with my mother later. So what have you been? What has a Labor Day weekend look for you? What have you been up to?
Well, I went to the pool. I swam a few laps. I came back here. Got cloudy. Now it's raining, and I'm working on my fourth Florida Man novel, and I'm working on this graphic novel for Eric July.
Okay, all right.
Wow, cool.
Got the dogs there with you? I see in the background.
Yeah, we got a couple of dogs lying around here. This one here, that's Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Bob is famous for his hearing.
Uh-huh.
Bob can hear me cutting an orange from a half mile away. And that's Mac. Mac is old.
Uh-huh. Now, does Bob actually, I've noticed that my dog over here actually picks up certain sounds, even though I just have earbuds in, she'll actually perk up and actually hear some of the noise coming over the earbuds sometimes.
Well, Bob is highly trained. He only hears food.
Yeah. Now, do you feed your dog orange?
Yeah, I do. We get these cuties here. They're called cuties.
Right.
They're citrus fruit. And that's
Really
what he
sweet.
hears me slicing. So he comes over every time I cut one up for his cut.
I like it.
Give him his share, man.
Yeah, I think Tank, you mowed, didn't you? You went and mowed,
Yeah, I got
or
some
did you
mowing
get?
done.
Did you?
I have a gutless electric mower, so it only works for half hour at a time.
Okay, I hate those. I really do.
Get a sheep.
Wow, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got.
right.
I don't know. Mine goes for a good 2 hours, dude. I got a little electric one, 18 volt.
Is a sheep better than a goat, Mike? I mean, a
I don't.
goat will eat that.
I, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know, but I do know
yeah.
that a lot of people around here have sheep. A lot have goats. A lot have llamas.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There
Hmm.
are. I don't know why they want llamas. They've got some
Me either.
llamas around
Me
here.
either.
Yeah,
Now,
I
at least
maybe
the
to eat
sheep
the
and goats
grass.
don't
I
spit it.
guess. Uh, you're the a goat. Do you know what kudzu is? Kudzu,
Hmm.
Hmm.
that vine. I mean, they'll even eat that. They'll eat just
Oh,
about
really?
anything.
Will they eat gripweed?
Oh, I've never heard of gripweed. What is gripweed?
Gripweed is this weed that takes over everything and it twists around every one of your plants.
Okay.
And I asked a landscaper, I said, how do I get rid of gripweed? And she said, you can't get rid of gripweed because it's all one plant.
Yeah, it entwines around another
Well, when
plant
I
kind
say,
of.
That
I mean,
sounds like
there's
just another name for kudzu,
one
dude.
huge nut, one huge seed repository underground that's probably the size of the LA airport,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
stretching throughout the United States. And every time you see gripweed in your yard, there's no point pulling it or poisoning it because the mother lode is still down there, and the mother lode is the size of a nuclear reactor, and it's all one plant. That's what they tell me. And they were digging up a driveway here in town recently, and they said they found a massive gripweed nest, which is like
Take care.
something this size. It's like a
Hell, Lord sandwich. Wow.
Well, now could the core of the gripweed be in another state, or are you joking about that?
well, it's not that I'm joking. I haven't done the research, but research has shown
Yeah.
that the largest living thing on Earth is a fungus, which is can be found in Michigan and in Colorado, two states, and they take DNA samples from them, and it's the same plant.
Yep, the
That's
same
incredible.
mycelial network.
Yeah, I have heard about that fungus. I've never heard of gripweed. I bet you goats would keep it under control though, because if they can eat that kudzu, which is can just take over. I mean, it's you can't hardly whack it down, mow it down. It's just impossible. But goats can do a number on that. So I bet they could take care of that gripweed. Because the gripweed it probably entwines and chokes off the other plants.
Oh, it doesn't choke anything off. It's just
Oh,
unsightly,
okay.
and I've been fighting it for years. It just keeps spreading and spreading.
Uh, Back in at the end of July, my biological sister contacted me for the very first time. She's here in Arkansas. She has fire ants. Do you have fire ants down there?
So
You don't.
thank God we don't have fire ants.
Yeah. Do you have killer bees?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean,
Okay.
Colorado has its own problems. And we got
Yeah.
rattlesnakes, and occasionally a bear will wander into town, and the mountain lions have been known to snatch the odd toddler. And we got
Wow.
yellow jackets and
Oh,
wasps, of course.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that plagues down south, like fire ants, we don't
They
have
had-
that.
Yeah. Do you have ticks there?
Ticks,
Ticks?
ticks.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
ticks are
Yeah.
everywhere, dude.
but nothing like the Upper Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm
How's
I'm in the
mosquitoes? You
Midwest.
probably don't have very many mosquitoes unless you have a lot of coverage, right?
We had a lot of rain this year. It was the worst year for mosquitoes in history for Colorado. But
Really?
even then, it wasn't bad as a typical summer in the Upper Midwest
Hmm.
or the Southwest or the Southeast. I mean, the Southeast.
Yeah. Last year was perfect around here. It was a dry heat.
Hell, head selling. Ooh,
The bugs weren't bad at all, and we've got more rain this year, and around here it's like what the farmers do dictate a lot of what the bug population does because they have rice fields that they pump up, You know, where there's water or a lot of rain, you're going to get more bugs, especially if you have coverage. I'm glad to hear it's not too bad up there. Have you grilled this year, Mike, at all, or do you grill?
I grill.
You do?
I grill.
Today was the very first day. Now, Shadowhawk, he grills like 3 times a week sometimes or more. How about you, Tank? Do you grill?
Yep.
No,
I'm grilling again
unfortunately,
later.
I don't own a grill.
Okay.
I got the bricks. I got some the rebar and whatnot. So I'm looking at putting one together.
Yeah, well, you could make a pit, right?
Yeah, you're like, well, yeah, that and a back order. I mean, dude, I grew up doing masonry and framing and carpentry and stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
and a random assortment of fireplace bricks and some metal, and that's not going to outgas like something nasty like chromium, onto my food. Dude, that's
Mike. I wanted to ask you
Heaven.
about. Weren't you working on the Badger too? A Badger story coming.
Well,
along?
in fact, I just completed a massive Badger graphic novel, which we seek to crowdfund later, and Geraldo Borges has agreed to illustrate it.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Now, now is he going to ink that as well, or
I hope so. Yeah. Geraldo's very fast.
Do you try and hire an artist that can do both for you?
Ideally, we're going to crowdfund this, and Geraldo has agreed to sign on for a percentage of the net.
Okay.
Which is what we've done before, and some of my campaigns have done very well.
Is he located outside the United States, or is he here?
Argentina.
Argentina. Okay. Yeah, I see a lot of sequential artists coming out of South America and all over Philippines. Some of the better ones are.
Well, Joe Bennett lives in Brazil, and he just completed a graphic novel for the Rippaverse that Chuck Dixon wrote.
Yeah. From what I've seen, that's looking awesome.
Yeah, and I would love to work with Joe.
Does your dog have a clothing on?
He has a thunder shirt on because when it thunders, Bob gets very frightened.
And what is a thunder shirt? I've never heard of a thunder shirt.
You can get that in any pet store. That's what it's called. That's the official trade name is Thunder Shirt. And it wraps around his body and it compresses him a little so he's less nervous.
Oh, okay. I have never heard of that. I guess that's kind of like the copper compression things for.
It's like a mobile hug.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
The compression things for your hand are to deal with arthritis. It doesn't make you less nervous, but
right.
It does have an effect on the pain.
Yeah. I just wondered if it worked on a dog like that, if compression actually helps humans, with stress.
Well, a hug would. I mean, certainly, but
yeah. They have those weighted blankets and stuff too now that people swear by. I don't know what that's all about, really.
Weighted blankets?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about if you're going to cool down a dog, you cool his paws down and not his body, right?
Not me.
Well, Shadowhawk was saying that, and then he muted, but
and then he ditched. What? No. Wait, Shadowhawk.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, is that right, Shadowhawk? You dog down by
the
paws,
if you can get them into like a pool of water first, they like shed a lot of heat through their paws, and they also especially that's why you got to be careful with them on hot pavement and stuff.
Well, that's
a lot of heat in through their paws, and it's easy for them to get burned.
Yeah, that's like humans. We shed a lot of heat out of our feet and our heads.
Mm-hmm. The dogs, they pant. They can't sweat, so they don't have a way of converting heat the way people do. So,
yeah. I did not know that. You were saying that a lot of people try and put wet towels on their dog and their head and their body, and that you'd be better off cooling their feet off.
Yeah, well, if you can just get them into a little kiddie pool or some kind of at least get their paws into a bucket of cold water, it'll help bring their.
Are you anticipating snow this year, Mike? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. You always get a lot of snow where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Colorado,
yeah. Yeah, not as bad as Wisconsin.
Well, not all of Colorado is like,
No, I know.
blizzard conditions, I wouldn't think. I mean, Colorado's a pretty big state.
Yeah, but we're
Colorado,
pretty high
I
up
was there
too.
in
Yeah,
January one.
altitude has a big
It was actually
thing to do with
beautiful
it.
weather. It was really nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't get a lot of snow down here, but when we do, it's usually, stops everything. People don't know how to drive on it. Do they know how to drive on it where you're at, Mike? Are they pretty acclimated to snow?
Well, most people are, but you're always going to see SUVs in the ditch because people say,
Yeah.
"Well, I got 4-wheel drive. I'll just floor it,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, some
amazing.
people think that 4-wheel drive makes them invincible or something.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's all you know who shouldn't have a driver's license
Who?
very quickly when it snows.
Oh,
You really, I mean, if you get in a car, you need to drive defensively, no matter what time of the year it is. I got my whole brand new truck, the front end whacked off the end of last year. This guy just ran through the light, and there was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And what was
Well, hell, when
amazing,
we were teenagers, we'd just drive around in snowstorms and dig
Hey,
people
Carrie.
out and push them out of ditches and stuff. And, you make a pretty good little buck that way.
hmm Well, Mike, I'm going to be. You got 2 campaigns up on Fund My Comic right now. You have Bronze Star, and hopefully
Hello,
here
kid.
in a little bit after Pat does his thing, we can get you both on and we can talk some more Bronze
well, that'd
Star.
be great. I
But
have to point out that the art for Bronze Star is finished, and I believe it's
Oh, it
going to the printer this week. And if you know who Pat Broderick is, this is the greatest work of his career. It's mind blowing. And if you want to take a look at it, just go to bronzestarcomic.com. It'll take you right there. There's a black and white page. If you scroll down until you come to that page, and your eyes will pop. It's just unbelievable what he's done on that book. He's somebody, he doesn't just put the actors out front doing the action. He provides the middle of the scene and the horizon too. When he draws the town, he draws every building on Main Street with their signs and their decks and the people walking by and the horses. And then off in the distance, you see the mountains. And they're not impressionistic. They're done in exquisite detail. It's just unbelievable.
He probably was working a good, well, I wouldn't say a decade, but a good time, at least from 1974 in comics, maybe earlier, probably earlier in comics, before you even came on the scene in comics, right?
Oh, yes, he was. Hey, listen, I'm sending you one of these pages right now.
Okay.
I just posted it to a message on Twitter where you posted the link to this video. If you could show that, it'll illustrate what I mean.
All right. Sure will. Yeah, and we should say this is not just a Western. This is sort of a weird Western.
It's a supernatural Western. It's called Bronze Star for a reason. The reason is that the sheriff can't wear silver. Silver presents problems.
Yeah. All right, let me embiggen that. There we go. Yeah, it is really the most detailed work I've seen Pat do. Here's an artist that's worked for Marvel, DC. He worked for Atlas, that was around for a very short time. That tried to take on Marvel in 1975.
That's his beautiful work, man.
Well, you're a big werewolf fan, so he's got you sold right there.
Yeah, and I have to add, the werewolf is not the main bad thing in the story. The werewolf is just an appetizer. And the whole book is like this, every page. And that's why we're offering an oversized black and white artist edition.
Artist edition, right.
Yeah.
Now you have another project on Fund My Comic right now.
Well, the Private American is there. ThePrivateAmerican.com. If you go to ThePrivateAmerican.com. And it came about because I asked myself, well, what would Punisher be doing if I were writing him? And it seemed obvious to me he'd be on the southern border, intercepting human traffickers, drug smugglers, and terrorists.
I think that's a great I'm going to be backing that book and Bronze Star this week.
Well, thank you, Rex.
I am very excited to read your border story and your take on that.
Well, it ignited fury on the left. And as you know, the Daily Kos attacked me with a headline that said Mike Barron releases another racist AF comic book.
Yeah.
And it was written by a purple-haired harridan who has never read anything I've written. Because she
Right.
described the book in exactly opposite of what it is, and the book had never been released. And then she described Thin Blue Line as a book about white police officers going into black neighborhoods to kill as many black people as possible. And nothing could be further from the truth. The two protagonists of Thin Blue Line don't kill anybody.
Yeah. Now, is Thin Blue Line available anywhere right now?
Yes,
Mike?
it is. ThinBlueLineComics.com.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you know, if you missed Mike's, that was your first crowdfunder, wasn't it?
No, Florida Man was our first.
Oh, Florida Man. That's right. Yeah, Florida Man, and you've got Florida Man issue what coming out?
Number 2. Let me show you the cover
Number
to
2.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're gonna love this.
I got number 1. That was
Okay.
great.
Number 2 is twice as funny. I promise you.
Awesome, bro.
You gonna send it to Twitter?
Twitter. Yeah, I am. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Twitter. Hang on a second. I got to find.
I'll just leave that up then.
I got to find Matt's drawing.
Well,
Where's it?
Hey, Larry.
Well, you're doing, go ahead and say hello to the chat out there. Hey, Tim, X, Alan, Carrie, Eric, and Boyd. Good to see you
There it
folks
is.
out there in
Carrie's
TV
out
land.
there.
How are
Hey,
you?
Carrie.
Magnificent
Now,
bastard.
Matt,
Oi.
now, Matt is your artist on Thin Blue Line, right?
No, Matt did the layouts for the new Florida Man, and this is his cover.
Florida Man.
This
Gotcha.
is his cover, which I just posted. If you would be so kind.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, no.
Now, your artist on Thin Blue Line, do you know how long he served as a police officer? Because he was an actual police officer.
Well, he's serving right now.
Well, I know. Yeah. How long's he served? Do you know, Mike?
I think Joe's been a cop for about 4 years now, and
Wow.
before that,
Okay.
he was in the Army.
Oh, wow.
Love it.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Good
Yeah, I
job.
like that. Absolutely.
Cool. Oh, wow.
I like an issue number, though. Is there an issue number? I guess it's on the
Well,
inside.
that cover isn't complete. It's going to say
Oh, okay.
Florida Man graphic novel number 2. I'm sure,
Okay.
but they're big books. I mean, it's not like an issue. We did split Florida Man up into 3 regular comics, which became
No, it was. Yeah, it was a
American
nice bet.
Mythology's top-selling title,
Correct.
and we're going to do the same thing with this new one. In fact, I'm now getting used to writing the stories in thinking of it being divided into 3 issues.
Mm-hmm.
So the story's at least 66 pages long, and sometimes longer.
Now, eventually, will you think you'll combine some of these into a trade paperback, a large, reprint?
I don't know. That's a possibility, but we're keeping them in print as long as there's demand.
Right. Now,
Yes,
they
we
can
do.
pick up Florida Man number 1. Where?
Yeah. FloridaManComics.com.
There you go. So all your books that you crowdfunded are still available somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're working on something with Nexus.
Well, yeah. In fact, Kelsey Shannon is the artist, and he's already completed the art.
Isn't he awesome? He's quick, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Well, I don't know. It depends on how many projects he's working on, but his
Right.
work he's no slower than a lot of professional artists, but his work is unbelievable. Let me show you. Let me show you an example from Triplets.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
There
it's
it
a
is.
wonderful
There it
man.
is.
Okay. Just coming in. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. I got the first Nexus floppy that you went. Didn't
This
you do
is-
one?
Yes, this is from that story, but he's already done the rest of the book by now. And also, we have another one that Kelsey illustrated called Scourge that Dark Horse had initially solicited for, but then Dark Horse says, no, we can't do this. We're not going to make money on this. So they are returning all the plates to us. Well, don't worry about it, because we can make a lot more money crowdfunding it than we would have if we'd gone through Dark Horse. unfortunately, there's two mutually exclusive audiences out there now.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's doing your colorings on this, Mike?
Kelsey does all his own coloring.
Oh, he does. Okay. Yeah. So the floppy that I got through your boy Zach, wasn't it? Didn't
That's
he kind
right.
of produce?
Yeah,
Uh,
Zach solicited the book, and after the first one came out, he said, "Mike, I think you ought to handle the rest of this yourself, since your crowdfunders are doing as well as mine." And I said, "That's fine, and thank you."
Okay. That was through Splato Comics, and it was only a portion of this story here.
Yeah, it was the first 22 pages.
Oh, okay. All right. So you just kind of lengthened that and carried it on. Did you have a chapter break or what?
Well, no, I wrote it as 3 separate issues because that's what
Oh, okay.
that's what Richard wanted. He said, "I want 3 separate issues, and we will solicit one sequentially, as they go along." So
Mhm.
that one was already designed to be 3 separate issues, but it's also a single story.
I must confess I haven't read it yet, Mike, but I did buy it.
Oh, well, you better read it because there's going to be a quiz.
Okay, I will. Yeah. Uh, what's the longest title? Probably Nexus, right? Besides Nexus. So let's take that out. Would it have been Badger? What would have been the longest, or Punisher maybe? Because you
Well,
wrote that for
I
5
wrote
years.
Punisher number 1 through number 65, and I did a number of war journals as well. But there are over 100 issues of Badger. There'd be more, but I don't own Badger. First Comics owns Badger, and I have to get permission from them if I want to publish something. Now, they told me that I was free to crowdfund a Badger comic, and so I'm acting on that now. It's been too long in coming, but I've just been so busy with other stuff. However, the story is probably the best Badger story I've ever written. I'm very excited about it. It's called Badger Beats the Devil, and that's what it's about.
Wow. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, you got me intrigued. Uh,
I'm a Badger fan, so yeah, dude.
yeah,
Thanks,
he's
Dan.
not.
Infamously
And
subliming.
again, how do you describe the Badger character? He's schizophrenic?
No, he's not. He's a multiple personality, only one of whom is a costume crime fighter.
Okay.
And multiple personality is caused by severe childhood trauma. And we went into that in a miniseries I did for Dark Horse years ago that Jill Thompson illustrated. And it was grim. People don't want the grim Badger. They want the crazy off the wall Badger, and that's what they're going to get.
Yeah. Now,
Nice.
have you something that's caused a big stir and was a big a Hollywood hit, if you can put it as Hollywood, is a movie on child trafficking. You going to go into anything like that? I mean, you are addressing some.
Well, I touch on that in Private American, and you're talking about The Sound of Freedom. I can't wait to see it. I miss it was in the theaters, but I'll probably buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Always get a hard copy.
Yeah, I believe in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My local theater wasn't showing it because they're like super ultra leftist theater house. Like it's terrible. They didn't even show, like, Top Gun Maverick was there for a week.
Wow. And that was a big hit.
Where do you live?
Well, I live in Illinois.
God bless you, Hank. Why you moved to a Democratic state like that? I don't know.
I live in a purple area. Just unfortunately, it is a reflection of our country, right? Businesses are divided. You have businesses leaning hard right. You have businesses leaning hard left. You've got Don't Tread on Me in the window of one store, and then the store right next to it's got Masks Save Lives. Oh, dude, it is an examination of Americana. I'll give it that.
Well, now you said you had to get permission by First Comics. I thought First Comics was defunct.
Nope, they're there. They're out there lurking like kudzu or bindweed, but they don't publish that much. Only sporadically, and the Philbach brothers are publishing through them. The Philbach brothers are doing revolutionary work. Their stuff is mind-blowing if you read the stories. Like Shotgun to Sugarland. I would recommend that.
Mm-hmm. Lorenzo's reminding me you don't have a wrench, so I'm going to give you a wrench.
That's right.
Because
Mr.
everybody
Bulletproof
has a
Vest in
wrench
this
around here.
neighborhood.
I got
That way,
wrenches.
if you ever want to come in and drop a link to,
Please.
absolutely feel free to drop any link to Fund My. Are you exclusively going to do Fund My Comic and then
Well,
other
no, it's not
websites?
exclusive at all, but we're going to do every project on Fund My Comics because we like them a lot.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. Now, a lot of people have been doing of late like exclusive covers or exclusive content for Fund My Comic. You going to get into any of that, you think?
We do have alternate covers. There are 3 alternate covers to Private American.
Yeah.
There's one Richard did. There's a Steve Rude cover, and there's a Dan Lawless cover.
Florida Man was received pretty well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Enough
And
to encourage us.
what's Florida Man all about?
The only purpose of Florida Man is to make you laugh out loud, and that
Okay.
it does. You know,
Okay.
I deliver the laughs. There are 3 Florida Man novels, and I'm working on the 4th now. And the graphic novels are loosely based on the novels, but they also have a lot of new material I think of when I'm writing. And the challenge, of course, is to engineer Gary and Crystal into the most embarrassing situations I possibly can. And it's about how Gary goes from rags to riches to rags to riches to rags to riches.
It sounds
a
like
lot of
Rich
fun.
Man, Poor Man, the old miniseries.
Yeah, except that Rich Man, Poor Man has a lot of pathos in it. You know, I love that miniseries. It's funny. I watched it again a couple of years ago, and then I was watching a movie last night with Nick Nolte in it, and
Oh, yeah.
Nick Nolte was almost unrecognizable.
Last time you were on, we talked Westerns. You've seen any good Westerns lately? They're not really making a lot of good Westerns like they used to. Of course,
Well, I like Yellowstone.
Yellowstone with
yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Old Henry with Tim Blake Nelson is terrific, a great actor. And if you get Netflix, watch The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, especially the first episode, which stars Tim Blake Nelson.
Rex thinks pathos is a Greek yogurt. Well, it may very well be, Eric. Very well. Do you eat yogurt? You're a swimmer. You exercise.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I've been known to eat yogurt.
Yeah. It's good for the gut. Yeah. When Mike Barron grills, what does he grill?
Well, we
What
get
does
these
he like to grill?
we get these chicken sausages from Sprouts.
Oh.
That and the best is chicken apple, but we also like chicken feta cheese with spinach. But I grill steaks and hamburgers.
Yeah. Now, do you base that? How do you? What do you? I mean, besides
Well, sometimes I'll marinate the steaks.
Oh, okay.
But
What about the chicken links? I've never heard
no,
of that.
they
That sounds
are
interesting.
so flavorful that they don't need any marinating.
You don't need it?
I mean,
The sweetness
because
of
they're
the
made
apple.
with seasonings. And Sprouts is a national grocery chain that's like an unpretentious Whole Foods. They excel in fresh produce, and it's very reasonable. And that's where we get these.
Yeah, I imagine you have some neighbors that probably have chickens out there, don't you?
I do, in fact, have a good friend who has chickens, and he occasionally drops some eggs off for me.
Oh, awesome! And are you within hearing distance of the rooster early in the morning?
Oh no. but Ann is visiting her brother now in Woodridge, Oregon, and she's complaining that every morning a rooster starts crowing at 5 a.m.
Well, Shadowhawk got in some new neighbors, and how's that been going, Shadowhawk? You got in some chickens. And
So far, the rooster is still very young. You know, they got a whole bunch of chickens young, so he hasn't really started crowing or anything yet. But I am starting to hear, you know, the box, the Yeah, it's kind of cool in the morning. You know, I wake up at 3:30. I go outside on the back porch, smoke a cigarette, drink coffee, and I hear the little chickens over there going. "Bark, bark, 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 bark."
Well, they'll take care of your insect problem for you if they're
Yeah,
like
no, it's
free
been
range,
pretty.
whatever.
It's been pretty good up here this year. I mean, we had for about a week there. We had these weird little black mosquitoes that came out of nowhere, and they were vicious. And then they
Yeah.
disappeared. Thank God.
Well, I think we have 17 different varieties last time I checked in Arkansas. And they have a new one called the Amazonian. Real big. They say when it bites you, it really hurts.
Oh,
I've
lovely.
not encountered one, but I don't know. I think pesticides and other things have probably had an effect on it, because if you think back, Mike, when we were kids and you would go through certain areas, your windshield would be covered with bugs. Did you ever encounter that? Like where
Yeah.
your windshield is just totally bug guts?
Yeah, I grew up in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Like traveling to southern
But
Indiana or
I don't
southern
see
Illinois.
that as much anymore, where the bugs cover your windshield like that.
Yeah,
So
and I don't see the frogs like I used to when I was a kid. Every spring there'd be thousands and thousands of frogs hatched
oh yeah.
and
Mhm.
jumping across the dirt road, and I don't see that much. I saw a frog
Yeah.
the other day. I was very excited.
I get excited when I see a tree frog. I used to see them all over the place, but so
Yeah.
I've got to wonder what's going on,
Even like crawfish and stuff like that. Like we had a lot of little local creeks. You know, when I was a kid, we used to go fish them all the time, and like there's nothing in them anymore. You don't see any kind of life. It's just dirty water.
Well, if they're going to start feeding us bug burgers instead of real meat burgers,
We're not going to eat that.
no, I don't.
No, I'm not.
That's never
They can
happening.
try.
Well, we could always switch to soylent green.
No,
I like my grasshoppers fried in peanut oil and covered in chocolate. But that's the only
Yeah.
time you'll ever get me eating a bug.
Well, now
That's
you
it.
you served in the military tank, so you probably
Yeah.
have eaten survival food like that.
Well,
right?
what's really funny is I did more survival stuff outside of the army. Because when I was in the army, I was a tanker, so we had this $3.5 million RV. Even came with a stove. You just turn the turret over the side, you just kick up that engine, open up the back deck access plate. You got this no step plate there. Slap down
Yeah.
some aluminum foil. Get to cooking, man.
Well, what was the most hair raising for you when you were over there serving?
Oh geez, that's a good competition. All right, so this one time in Baghdad, we ambushed the wrong guys.
Uh-oh.
Nobody was hurt. All right, nobody was hurt. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there because good discipline, trigger discipline, good situational awareness, and proper training and execution of that training, it saved lives. Right. So the night before, I'm up on the tower at the Al-Dor oil refinery, just south of downtown Baghdad, right? And I got mortars walking in on my position, and I'm calling them down. They got these mortars walking, getting 50 yards closer, 50 yards closer, 50 yards closer, and I'm just calling in and sitting there. They're like, all right, so, you stay at your post. I'm like, yeah, no worries. They're not close yet. I'm only on this 50-foot tower that was built back in 1960s using the cheapest possible, materials. I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the next night we're going to go out, and these guys have a habit of repeating themselves, right? Because
So you were a spotter.
Well, I was just on guard duty. That's all.
Okay.
So the next night, this one guy, one of our tankers, he was Ranger certified. He was Ranger tapped. He was a tanker Ranger. He was infantry, and he basically changed his MOS to 19 kilo to be armor, right? And so he grabbed 3 of us and goes, all right, you guys are the sneakiest guys I know. We're going to go check this out. So we go on foot patrol. It's only about a mile away. So we're walk across a couple of farm fields, through some little shack neighborhoods and stuff like that. And we're low crawl up to about we were probably about 25 feet from their position. It's very poorly lit, but we were there long enough to give everybody nicknames. So we had the Stairmaster, this guy who just kept going up and down the stairs. We had Captain Rambo, who was holding an AK in each hand. We had the cigarette man, who he was smoking. And then we had the Watcher, the guy who was up on top of this bridge, because it's all underneath this bridge that goes over the Tigris into downtown Baghdad. And so we pull back. We all share a cigarette in a bush. With our hands all cupped over. We're all providing like light blocking and everything for the cigarette. We're like, okay, cool. We radio in. We've got 2 Humvees. They're gonna come move out and then whatnot. And so we moved back into position. And the guy next to me, his hand disturbed a rock on a berm, which came tumbling over and hit and it tumbled over at me, and then it clapped right into the top of my M16 with a loud clap. And dude, we all rose. Red light, green light, red light. And it is just dude, you could have heard a mouse fart from the next neighborhood over as one of the guys goes looking out right in our direction, dude. Right in our direction, shines out a flashlight. Nobody breathed. And the moment passes and we run up there. We're and Humvees come rolling in. It's it's like a Fed bus, dude. Humvee comes rolling in. We come walking around from each side of this wall that supports the bridge, weapons raised, coalition forces, get your hand out, get on the ground, et cetera, et cetera. And it turned out, no, they were Iraqi Highway Patrol. They were doing the same thing we were doing. One of the guys shit himself, and he's just laughing. Afterwards, he's like, dude, he spoke like this broken English. He goes, dude, I shit my pants.
That's good.
Yeah. You can't afford to really get paralyzed and freeze up, can you?
Oh, dude, pucker factor went through the roof. That was even though that was completely not lethal on the other end of it. That was actually scarier than the mortars landing next to me, than the angry bees and my Humvee getting blown out. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
That's a great story, Tank.
Thanks, man.
Hey, I got to bail. Thank you for having me.
That's a shame.
Thank you, Mike.
See you guys.
Always good to see you.
Too long a story, Tank, but it was good.
Yeah. This is why I have editors, dude. That's why I do comic books and not spoken word. Oh,
and Shadowhawk is device.
I killed the show. I killed the show.
I know.
One time
he bailed too.
What's up, King League? So I'll take this moment to show Rick. Rick dropped a link. Give, send, go.
Right.
Help him out.
Right. Let's see. It was up here. Let me highlight that right there.
We got Dillard out there. Dillard pulling a hard line for Rick. It's awesome.
Absolutely. We had him on, he was on with me earlier today. Had a great conversation. Hope you got some rest, Rick. Tank, you want to show some artwork you've been working on of late?
Yeah. I'll bust out that.
Oh yeah, we should have done that when Mike was on, but we got sidetracked.
Yeah, I got sidetracked with this one time in Baghdad.
No.
Oh, hey there.
One night in Bangkok and the world your oyster.
Hey, sorry about. I was hanging out in chat while I was listening to Tank's never-ending story.
Yeah.
When I tried to come back, in, I couldn't come back in. I got kicked. So, sorry, Tank.
There you go. 2 ton, fully.
Oh,
inked.
damn!
Snap.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
We got 2 ton right there, and
then we don't have a name for her yet, but she's like.
Yeah, I like this one too, man. She's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 ton is looking sweet there, Tank. Very nice.
I'll probably make a sticker out of that too, because he's put the white around there, and it just screams sticker.
Yeah,
Or
I
Matt.
did that. I did that
Usually-
just in case you wanted to, like, you're like, oh, I don't like this background, because that wasn't part of the deal, right? You just wanted the character by themselves. So,
Right. Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to put the white outline and do some kind of like artistic, kind of cool effect. And if Rex doesn't like it, it's real super easy just to digitally cut it out. Be done
Yeah, I
with
mean, everybody loves it. Ryan really loved it. You know, Ryan James at Mr. Octagon.
Awesome.
He must be busy with the family today. But yeah, everybody that's seen it's Tanks, you know, really loves it. So
Awesome. Awesome.
you know,
Oh,
I'm contemplating maybe one other character from you, but I don't know if you're available. But
I am. And
Yeah.
as you have seen, I'm surprisingly affordable right now.
well,
And
you
with
let me.
rapid turnaround.
I should just have him do Devil Flyer, shouldn't I?
Oh,
So,
I'd love to have a whack at Devil Flyer.
yeah. Well, now you were kind of drawing him on that fan piece that you were working on for.
I was.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's locked to my computer.
Yeah.
No.
Right. No.
Rex is such good luck.
So
Well,
but,
yeah. Well, I mean, he had Frog G and Hatch and all
Mhm.
types of characters on that thing, you know. I
No,
wanted to show Tank's other piece in case
Thank
people
you, Carrie.
hadn't seen it. Cy Marco, let me get rid of that screen that Mike was sharing. Great stuff.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Cy Marco,
Mike, for
see?
sharing. Yeah, this was Tank's first piece he did for me. I wish you had put some poker chips.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea, Gary. I like
I
that.
Every
didn't think
time
about
I drew
that,
them,
but
they didn't look right. So I was like,
okay.
we could
Well,
add poker chips in post.
I got Timothy Olsen's poker chip on. In fact, this is the
Nice.
first poker chip. Now, Shadowhawk's got some from other campaigns, like Patrick's campaigns, but
Yeah,
Oh,
PTP put out a bunch of them with Johnny
Yeah.
Cash has 'em.
now he kind of got that going, as far as I know, on a mass
Yeah, I
scale.
think he was the first one to do poker chips
Yeah,
that I'm
and,
aware of.
So I was thinking, well, I could, Cy Marco could own a casino, and I could put Cy Marco Casino on there or whatever,
Yep.
There
So
we go.
Eric missed the drawings.
You got to come up with a better name than that, right?
Female character would make cool poster, tapestry, really awesome art. Tank, Carrie says.
Oh, let's see here. Here's this is the 2-ton powerhouse.
Yeah. I just kind of described him that way, but yeah, he is a powerhouse. He's 2 tons,
and,
Mhm.
and Rex was talking about having Kirby hands, having a little bit of Kirby in there
Yeah.
or something else entirely. And I was like, you know what? 2-ton's a perfect guy to have Kirby fist.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what?
dude.
That's
Yeah.
not over Kirby-ish. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I just squared him out a bit is all I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Made
No,
it more
but
like a classical karate fist.
Nothing wrong with that. It looks awesome, Tank. It
It's
really
good.
does.
The
I'm very
character
pleased.
did look good.
Can't wait. It's kind of hard to color that character because it'd be kind of be white and gray tone because it's kind of a white character with like a purple, accents, light purple.
Yeah.
So he hasn't got a lot of color to him. He's like a silly putty without the color.
Okay.
He's kind of a white character. And the way you
I don't know
got
what
him,
sketch you missed,
kinda
Eric. I would
almost looks
tell
like
that.
a grifter mask, or something like he's
Yeah,
stretching.
I
a little
couldn't
bit.
really tell, kind of like just from the one drawing, if that was like a Juggernaut style helmet or if that was like a hood that was just attached to the outline,
Right. Well,
like collar
not to have
region.
known you knocked it out of the park. It looks awesome. I couldn't be more pleased.
So yeah, okay. So yeah, I did take a little creative liberty but I was like, if it's not what it is, dude, I've got these wonderful gel pens right here.
Mhm.
I can take off any of that black line right there. I've got that, and I've got like white ink. So doing corrections, it's nice to be able to do analog art again. Right? It really is.
But yeah, oh hell yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it because I'm enjoying. I just
And, hey,
enjoy seeing other
It's
artists.
always helpful later, man. 'Cause, people like me love original art.
Oh, dude, I've
Right.
got one that's an homage to the Salamandroid Cyberfrog fist bump. But you know, I'm having a bit of fun with
Look
it.
at Tank just stabbing me right in the heart like Moby Dick. I got
Having a
you,
bit of
Shadow.
fun with it, where I'm gonna have it's gonna have Scalpel Zero, Battle Axe 5, which that's the big guy you might have seen in some of the Scalpel Zero pictures. He looks like a big security guard.
Okay, yeah.
You want to
it's gonna have,
shoot that Tanks for reference to do Devil Flyer?
oh, Devil Flyer. Yeah, he's easy to find reference for. You've got a lot of poster art with him. So
Okay, I go ahead and if you can screen shoot this, you know, or I can.
Oh, what I do is I just load up my YouTube on my potato, and then I go to the live stream, find where you put it up on the screen, and just pause it.
Okay, that'll work.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I grew up in the era of VHS and beta tape.
we made
Remember we
some
used to have to
slight,
do that with VHS tapes, dude, right?
we
You wanted to
made
see your
some
favorite
slight
scenes.
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Okay,
got. I think I've got
I
a really cool one.
Certainly will.
Yes, dude. Shelby's an amazing artist, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, we've
Shelby's
been
a
talking
badass.
about him doing, you know, and
Oh, hello, Shelby.
Oh, I'd love to see that, dude. Dude, like my favorite draw streams where I kind of like just lurk. I throw it on in the background. I mute it, put on some music, and that's like my ambiance for working because I work better in a bullpen. Is like, dude, like.
I think your audio went out, although
I-
it's not muted.
Right then,
Oh.
Tank cut that.
Yeah.
Oh, like my favorite, like to put on in the background while I'm working is like Shelby or Matt Barr or Scotsman TV, because I just really appreciate the workflow. It's kind of like working in a bullpen.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, we'll probably have a another bash here later, and once I get some things going, I'm going to run some burgers over to my mother and say hi to her, and then come back here and maybe break out a beer and do some inking and drawing. And so, if you guys want to get together later, I'll be available.
I'd love to.
All right, Rex. Well, what time
Yeah.
are you thinking? Not too late. I got to work in the morning.
Oh, that's right. You got to work in the morning. Yeah, not too late. It'll be just in a little bit. I haven't, got to set it up and whatnot. Well,
you want to do like 8?
the
8
thing
o'clock
about
or
it
something?
is we got the Vic King's auction. So, but he's asking me for my,
Oh, that's right. When does that start?
I think it's 8 o'clock, but I
almost
really don't.
forgot about that, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, Vic. Big stream
No.
auction tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, the old Jim Lee draw streams and the old EBS draw streams, man. Dude, those are fantastic to throw on. Unfortunately, sometimes I get a little distracted. Like, holy moly, man.
Yeah, I'm just checking here. Labor Day auction, 9 p.m. Eastern. So that would be 8
8
here.
Central.
Yeah. 8 our time, Central. Yeah. So had that right.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, he's wanting like a link to PayPal. I'm not even sure how I did that over on for Shay's auction, to tell you the truth.
Well, if you've ever sent them PayPal before, you should be able to just pull it up in your PayPal account. It'll come right up.
Yeah, just go. You do an internet search for, how do I find my PayPal.me?
Shelby says he'll have a draw stream today. Got tied up yesterday.
That's exciting, dude. Shelby's a good draw stream to watch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear about the drama that happened with Gabe Itaib, because that's another stream, like art stream, that's just like absolutely awesome to watch. Sorry to hear.
Yeah, we've got a lot of we got a lot of nice channels, you know.
Yeah, for real.
Shanathan Jetty, and I mean, does his thing on his streams, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I
there's
love watching
Shannon
the
is,
channels.
dude,
we're
that guy.
creating some of. I think we're creating some of the best artwork in comics. You know.
Well, think
And-
about it, right? Iron Age totally works. Iron Age, as a history buff, I love the name of the Iron Age because
Right.
the Bronze Age collapsed. It's the fault of the Sea People. And what comes
There you
next?
go.
The Iron Age.
Yeah.
I get the
there's-
joke.
Iron Age magazine, right?
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
get the joke. It's a historical deep cut, and you know what? I'm rolling with it. Plus, it's I love Comicsgate. I'm Comicsgate forever, but
Yeah. Yeah,
it doesn't have it. I don't feel like it has brand name staying power like Iron Age does to help define an era. I think it's good because whereas the Bronze Age collapse involved the Sea People, as in from the ocean. This has the Sea People, as in the CG people, and that tickles me. I'm entertained. More. Give me more.
Give me more.
Dude, and there are some guys out there like Hex Allen and
Yeah,
John
I noticed Hex was in the chat earlier. He may still be there, but he was saying, I'd like to interview Mike Barron one day. Well, I sent him the link. He could have came on today and talked to him probably. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
just reach out to Mike. He's
Reach
a
out
very
to Mike.
approachable guy.
Yeah.
No, he's his level of communication is superb. Like, for real, man. You just reach out to communicate with him.
Yeah, just make it, have your questions ready. And, there have been some that have had guests on, and it's like, I don't have any questions. Well, why did you invite them on?
Yeah,
I have questions, a few questions.
Questions or topics or reminiscence, things that the fans would like to hear about.
Yeah, what did we talk? We talked bugs, dogs, weather. What?
And I ruined it with this one time in Baghdad.
And ruined it with that. Yeah, I mean, well, he stays, about that same.
Yeah, no, I know, but I've been running this meme of you invite me.
You probably first met him over on Pop's channel, right?
What's that?
You probably met Mike over on Pop's channel, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because
well, that was the first time I actually like went on a stream with him. I was already I was already connected to him via social media, and had done it a couple of times in the past.
Are you gonna go mow some more on Labor Day? Or how fast charging is that? Shadowheart is really slow charging.
I have decided that the sun is evil.
Yeah, I'm out here prepping the grill right now. Sorry.
And that I'm actually just gonna keep working on that redo of the one with the one where Scalpel Zero's kind of skipping towards the audience. She's got a little pep in her step, and there's in the background there's a guy stabbed with a minigun.
I already have an image for you for Devil Flyer if you want to do Devil Flyer.
Absolutely.
It was a cover idea I had, but we, don't necessarily.
Shoot me the deets, man. I love doing covers. I really do. I love doing covers.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a cover. It's just let's see if I can find it here real quick. If you got time, just a second.
Yeah.
It's here.
Apex says StreamYards is slow today. Trying to get on the panel.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens, I've missed notifications,
Dude,
giving Jason Bascom sort of grief. I don't think he picked up on that at one time, Okay, so something like this, Tank, with Ray's trident and lightning striking it and whatnot.
Okay. That's actually kind of very similar to what I had in mind anyways. Very
heroic, pose.
Yeah, heroic, imposing, powerful, a sense of presence, I guess would be
Well, right now I'm doing you know, I don't know how much a cover is going to cost me. So
No, dude, something like that. No, you're getting in on my surprisingly affordable deal time. So
well,
yeah, no,
yes.
yeah, you know, you're what's really funny, Rex, is that you're actually starting uh the price
There you
per
go.
item is starting to come up to one of the package deals that
Yeah.
I'll be
Well,
offering on my comic.
well,
Which
like I say, you know, I'll probably pay you for the 2 tomorrow.
sure,
If you start at, just quote me a third there, and you can send all together. I can wait. You know, there's no big rush, but
yeah, same as the others. You know,
yeah,
with the
if
$10
you
delivery.
if you want to make it a cover, you know, and charge me a little bit more, go ahead. You know,
Okay.
because I could definitely, you know, use a cover. Now that's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
I know. So, you know,
Well, here's the thing,
have you
Rex.
got that? Have you got the Bristol for that?
Oh yeah, no, well, and here's the thing about this, Rex. Most artists have to go to a bigger size of paper. Me, I just go to a smaller pen. Right now, what you've seen with those last 2 pictures, that's me painting a battle axe. I haven't even pulled out the brush yet. I'm painting with a broom. Oh man, yeah, no, dude. Yeah, no. Trust me, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be like, dude, why don't you use smaller pens more often? I'm like, I'm trying to. I have a love affair with tiny pens and little
Yeah.
tiny things. I like to get those little cheapo. You find them at the dollar store. Those little canvases
Well, I
that are
know
like
you. Oh yeah.
just like a
Bro.
couple inches big.
Look, bro. I bought
Yeah,
some.
and I like to replicate like full posters on them. Like one of them, I redid the entire cover for the Cyberpunk 2020 tabletop RPG, but
Yeah.
it was an homage.
I
So I
like to
had
work
Scalpel
small
Zero,
too, and now I'm
and
asking you to work big.
yeah, well, like
Yeah.
I said, man, all I got to do is reduce the size of my pen,
Yeah.
and I have
Well, the
smaller
reason I
pens.
showed you Dillard's cover is we kind of made, you know, he's got a good look for it metallically. You know, we did a
Yep.
color change on the character, and there's some changes on that that's different from any other reference you might have, you know, with Devil Flyer. But
Yeah, no worries. I got this live stream.
yeah,
After we're done here, I'm gonna pull
just
that
quote
up.
me the price for a cover, and I will
Yeah,
give you a
I
thumbs
got
up
you.
or thumbs down or something. You know, I think I can do it. I need another cover to use at some point. You know, so
Oh yeah.
it'll probably be all good. But yeah, I kind of wanted a victorious, you know, shot of him at some point. I don't know when it'll be used, to tell you the truth, but I can always use it in my character book as well.
Word.
Yeah, because I, you know, trying to get all the characters done, and I do have a lot of reference for Devil Flyer, you know, done by various artists, but I can always use one more. So yeah, I'm excited. You're you know, not to have done traditional in a while, you're killing it.
Thank you, sir. Well, I've secretly been practicing here and there. Most of what I've done is like I grab one of the pieces of paper that the kids have drawn on and they're gonna throw away. I find a clean spot and I just do some practice exercises. Not even like really drawing anything. I'm just throwing down lines.
Right.
And I'm making shapes with those lines. I've actually got an art project my youngest drew on the bathroom wall with a permanent marker, and it's all scribbled goo. And I'm currently in the process of turning it into a T-Rex in a jungle.
Shadow, what are you going
pictures.
to be grilling? You said you were prepping the grill.
Yep, I just gotta light it up and throw the ribs on there.
Oh, you got ribs. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I got some marinated short ribs. It was a little specialty there.
So they're probably pork ribs, not beef ribs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Short ribs, because I don't think there is a short.
Yeah, I don't think there's a short rib in pork. You got spare ribs and you got baby back. I never heard of a short rib on pork.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
beef? Yeah, no, I've never
well, I
heard.
mean
I
on
could be
beef,
wrong.
yeah, beef are pretty big ribs. I prefer the pork, but I saw a video once that's kind of
Yeah,
put me
these
off
are these.
eating pork.
They're a little different than like what you would expect out of your normal cut of ribs. It's different.
Hmm.
I don't know. It was
Well,
something
enjoy
different. I decided to
grilling.
try.
Enjoy grilling. Yeah, later, Eric. We got to go too. I've got to deliver over some burgers.
All right, brother.
You know,
I got
Tom,
get some food
and
over the line.
figure out what I'm going to do about the auction, and you know,
All right. So
I don't
8
have to work.
o'clock over at Vic, eh?
Yeah, over at Vic's. Yep, 8 o'clock,
Alrighty then.
9 Central or Eastern rather.
I think I'm gonna go watch some
Thanks for
Godzilla
coming
movies.
on and sharing. Mike, Baron, thank you. And Shadowhawk, as
Hello,
always.
Lorenzo. Everybody that came in late. Sorry I couldn't say hi when Mike was here. I didn't want to interrupt Mr. Barron. So, hello.
Absolutely. Yeah. We had good views on this, I'm sure, and a lot of people. I hope you enjoyed it. Bow for now. Keep collecting.